Good morning, folks. This is Ron. This is another vlog posting. I usually don't do these, but this is Tuesday, July 9th. I'm responding to my previous blog posting about Biden performance at the debate and my recommendation that he should drop out, that my recommendation means anything. But I am a voter, a Biden supporter. And if Biden runs, I will vote for him. I'll vote for a doorknob before I vote for Donald Trump. But I haven't read the comments from my previous blog yet because I understand some people were quite upset that I said maybe I was a little too dramatic with Biden and his slack-jaw agape at the thing, but it just really angered me. What really angered me was that his staff has been lying to us. Lying. I always get angry when they lie, Republicans or Democrats. But what I wanted to read was something. I was going to post a thing, but I'll read this. And this is, give proper credit, this is from Nick Welsh, and this is the Santa Barbara Independent. And the title is called Slack-Jawed and Agape After Presidential Debate. Me or your lying eyes. Thursday evening had already gotten off to a bad enough start. Before going up the street to watch the debate with some old friends, I had a chat with my root canal dentist about the fate of my mouth. Short term, I found out I needed one tooth yanked out and the root canal drilled into the next door neighbor. Come back after the extraction, I was told, and I was handed an appointment card for the follow-up visit. Walking out in the afternoon's golden sunshine, I slipped it into my wallet. So maybe my teeth were a bit on edge when Joe Biden shuffled onto the Atlanta debate stage. For the record, I consider myself a big fan. Biden's record of accomplishments is nothing short of amazing, but sadly it's been eclipsed by his utter inability to articulate a clear sense of vision or speak with anything that resembles passion. That's my problem with Biden. That's my problem. You have to be able to communicate, especially the president. You have to be able to communicate to the people you want to vote for and why they shouldn't vote for Trump. Communicate. Biden's always had trouble communicating. He's gotten a pass on it. But his debate performance was just inexcusable. And his performance since then, he was on Morning Joe yesterday, or he called in the Morning Joe. Again, fumbled, syntax, everything. He's all scrambled up. So, communication, Joe. Communication. I don't know how he stayed in politics 50 years, can't communicate. Well, anyway, it says Biden's sole mission Thursday night was to radiate and communicate some serious mojo on an animal level. What we got instead was a man who at times looked like he had woken up in the middle of the night, uncertain where the bathroom was. As he spoke, too often it seemed, his train of thought became derailed and jumped off the tracks. At times he appeared to stare vacantly ahead, his jaw agape. Not a reassuring look for a nation desperately seeking some reassurances that Biden was not as old as his 81 years. 81 years might otherwise suggest. By the way, I had trouble talking too. The word agape, by the way, is a Greek term that connotes the highest and most selfless form of love there is. Given Biden's many years of tireless public service, that's probably an accurate description. However, for my father, a yellow dog Democrat in good standing, agape was another word for slack-jaw, a term of wincing disparagement he spat out while loudly walloping the back of one of his harebrained sons, who in a moment he couldn't quite bring himself to believe was really his son. This Thursday night, Joe Biden was a slack-jaw. Good thing my father was not around to pound his back. Like millions of people watching the debate, for any credible signs of hope, my own jaw dropped. I gaped. My heart sank. It's sinking still. It's exactly the way I felt. I was a few minutes into that, I said, is this just me? Is this just me, or is this bad? I mean, this is really bad. In case you hadn't guessed it, I'm an anybody but Trump kind of guy. I am too. If anyone fits the bill as pyromaniac in a dynamite factory, it's Trump. We have enough of those guys on the world stage already. They're bad for business and domestic tranquility and the health of the planet. Not to mention what passes for my heart. For my friends up on the street, it was all too much to take. They started flashing back on where they were the night Trump got elected. Clearly, they had much recovering to do. I remember the night Trump got elected. That was my birthday, November 9th. I remember that. Worst birthday of my life. God. Hope I never repeat that. Me, what did I do? What I always do. I sought refuge in the one-size-fits-all jokes. Aside from that, Mrs. Lincoln, I asked, how did you like the play? For good measure, I added, sure glad I didn't step in it. When that failed to elicit the desired results, I stole a Groucho Marx classic line. Who are you going to believe, me or your lying eyes? I know what I saw, folks. I know what I saw. The excuse now that he was tired, had a bad night, how are you going to blame 90 minutes on 3 years of accomplishments? See, there I stumbled on my words. Well, he's had accomplishments. Yes, I give it to him. He has. We're talking about the future, folks. We're talking about the future. We're not talking about the past. My God. The last one was inspired when Vice President Kamala Harris sought to remind us of Trump's many excesses during the debate. She was, of course, absolutely correct, but also totally irrelevant. Exactly. Trump was bad. He was awful, as he always is. He's terrible. Trump is, and has always been, judged by a different set of standards than anyone else. After just being convicted on 34 criminal counts for falsifying business documents to cover up hush money payments to porn star Stormy Daniels, Trump experienced a record surge in campaign donations. Well, just 30 to 40% of this country is stupid. That's all that tells you that. Trump's id monster is always hiding in plain sight. He's the pyromaniac who shows the world his butane lighter. He told so many whoppers Thursday night that CNN's fact-checkers threatened to go on strike for overtime pay. He declined to answer basic questions like whether he'd abide by election results. A lot of stuff he said just flat out didn't track. And then there was a really crazy business about post-birth abortions that he claimed took place in Virginia, or whether Joe Biden's golf handicap was an 8 or 6. What was that all about? Their little discussion, who's got the bigger handicap, the smaller handicap on golf. Damn. For all this, it was a remarkably restrained performance for Trump. For him, it qualified as being relatively hinged. Sure, he called Biden a few names, Manchurian candidate being one. Biden called him a few too. The difference? Trump is all mojo. Biden, at least on Thursday night, displayed none. We're animals, so that matters. When I got home, I noted with relief that my gas oven is broken. No easy way out for me. I didn't think my air fryer could pinch hit. Perhaps maybe if I were a novelist wonderkind David Foster Wallace, whoever that is, I could figure out how to do the trick by sticking my head in the microwave oven, one of the great literary imaginations of his career, but I'm not. And since Wallace pulled his old ripcord a few years back, neither is he. I don't know what all that's about. I shouldn't have read that. Less drastically, but only barely, there was a rumbling among the Democratic Party elite of trying to get Biden to impersonate LBJ, who in 1968 announced he would not seek the party's endorsement, nor would he serve fast. We are told the only people withstanding to make such a case for Biden are Biden's wife, Jill, and his sister. Given the bulletproof silo of family dysfunction that seems to surround the Biden clan, I wouldn't hold my breath. That leaves few options other than an all-out food fight at the Democratic Convention this August. I'm not holding out my breath. I'm not holding my breath. Very good. Misspoke. The party apparatchiks will drink the Kool-Aid and faithfully recite their talking points before Biden allows Trump to take the country down with him. It was a bad night, but everyone has a bad night, they would say. Biden also had 3.5 years of exemplary legislative accomplishment. Santa Barbara Congressman Salvador Cabrera says much the same, only a slight wrinkle. It was a sluggish night, he says. Here's the problem. The people who need to vote for Biden don't have patience for such thing as exemplary legislative accomplishments. And what they saw, what we all saw, what I saw Thursday evening was a good man having an old man moment, not 3.5 years of accomplishment. I would make the following observation. I don't want to hear any more sanctimonious screeching by my Democratic friends how mainstream Republicans sat supinely and spinelessly by as Trump takes their party and the whole nation down the garbage disposal of history. The Democrats are doing the same thing right now. And it's not exactly news. People expressed many of the same fears early on as the party canceled what passes for a primary campaign. Yes, they'd say, if we had to close ranks and stop Trump, but really, isn't Biden a bit? Yes, but. And please, no more screeching about how Trump's victory spells the end of democracy as we know it. I would say that democracy, at least the as we know it variety, was already pretty much DOA when the only choice we found ourselves with was between Biden and Trump. When I got home, I discovered my wallet had disappeared and was not in the shoulder bag I carried on. That's when I stopped telling jokes and started to freak out. But weirdly and wonderfully, the really crucial stuff, my wallet and driver's license, my ATM card, my credit card, and magic slid out to the bottom of the bag. The only thing I was, all stuff about that. But anyway, I did post a video, a CBS video about Biden's, debate performance. Biden's claim, God Almighty, it's the only way he's going to get out. That God Almighty tells him to get out. The Democrats are wishing past the grave. Biden is going to have a press conference. He's going to do something else. It's going to happen again, folks. It's going to happen again. And what are we going to do? Nothing. God help us if Trump is elected president. And the feckless Democrats doing nothing about it. Okay. Had my say. It's my blog. Feel free to disagree with me. But, folks, I know what I saw. Okay? Have a good day, everybody.